Finally, RFA Kings Cup is finally here for another season as we turn our attention now to one of the most fascinating ties of the RFA Kings Cup first round. It's Torrentina FC versus RB Torrentina, a rivalry with history, pride, and bragging rights on the line. Torrentina FC, one of the oldest clubs in the city, face the modern powerhouse RB Torrentina, a team built for trophies and pressure. There's no league table tonight, no second chances, just 90 minutes to stay alive in the King's Cup. A place in the next round is at stake, and both sides know just how big this one is. Let's head to the stadium and see how this huge Torrentina derby unfolds. Torrentina FC versus RB Torrentina. It's next.
And we are now here for the game, the Torrentina derby between Red Bull Torrentina and Torrentina FC here for tonight. And there is a lot to play for in the RFA Kings Cup, as both teams are looking for a win over each other. It's a big game, this is, by the way. It's a real big deal between both sides in the exact same city as one another. And we do have the lineup, by the way. We do have Bart Pedri, Charette, Ziyech, Forsberg, Ericus, Fabri, Lilius, Vladius, Alexavier Turba, Tim Pritis as well, and also David Ospina. The Torrentina FC, we've got Atticus, Fladius, Longinus, Flores, Drazius, and also Germanus, as Cornelius, Varien, Regulus as well. And still a good side in terms of their football they've got. But let's see what happens. Here we go. Here we go, and let's get straight to kick-off as the derby game kick things off for the first round proper of the King's Cup. Now Fabri. Now to Hakim Ziyech. Now here's Fabri. Now is Tippis. Now to Pedri. Oh! Could be. Now is Longinus. Now here's Atticus now for Torrentina FC. Now Flavius. Now here's Germanus. Now Germanus now the ball here for Torrentina FC. And now is Atticus. Crossing. Shot, a goal! And the team from the league below, FC Torrentina, have leading themselves over Red Bull here for tonight. What a goal. The captain scores as Flavius to put FC Torrentina in front in the match. What an absolutely wonderful goal. Brilliantly as well. Into the goal to make sure that FC Torrentina make it here. Now 1-0. I cannot believe it. Torrentina FC, the team or a league below Red Bull Torrentina, are in front. And that's a big bite in the nose of Red Bull in this matchup, because they're at home and they're allowing the team of their rivals only at least 50 minutes down the road from the other stadium to have that side of Torrentina might even knock out the team from the regular league or Red Bull here. It could happen, because cup football could happen in sometimes in terms of magic in the cup. The giant killing, it happens in knockout competitions such as the cup like this. And teams have done it in the lower leagues, have knocked out teams in the top division. And meanwhile here, Prince Charette, and he scores! And didn't last long, didn't it? Wait, hold on a minute, he's offside. The referee is actually obviously flagged off for offside the flagsman, but the referee blew the whistle, as that was a nice try right there from Prince Charette, but he was in an offside position. So that basically means it will be no goal allowed, by the way. No goal allowed in this match. As Lucius Antonius will take the goal kick. Head up. Now to Lawrence. And now here's Longinus. And now here's Drazius. Now Hakim Ziyech. And now here's to Flores. And now it's going to be a free kick, by the way. Trentino FC putting a little bit of a grudge here on Red Bull Trentino right now, because it's a free kick, because Ericus right there failed and gave away a free kick here for Trentino. So there you go, free kick, by the way. As Julius Flarius now will take the free kick. Now here's Flarius Drazius. And now Prince Charette. Now all the way there to Bart Patry. He's 1v1 to the goalkeeper. And it's gone right there to Lucius Antonius now, the goalkeeper in the game. And now here to Tatius Cornelius. Now Oticus Gibernus. And now is Fladius again. And now here again, foul. So it's going to be a free kick, by the way. Free kick for FC Trentino. And they'll be very happy about this, by the way. Going into half time, to believe the game is be brilliant, away from home especially. It'd be embarrassing for the Red Bull team to actually see their club losing here to their rivals, especially a team who are a league below them as well. And now here's Bart Patry. Now Luis Fabry now. Alex Fabry now has a shot. Rebound, goal, and it is being confirmed. Because that shot was saved and rebounded by the goalkeeper, but went back into the feet of one of the players of Red Bull Trentino, as Bart Patry makes it 1-1 at half time, or before half time in fact. And it is really kicking on here now. This local derby game is going very intense here now. To see Trentino lead the game 1-0 within the early phases of the matchup. But now, obviously, going into nearly half-time, Red Bull Trentino are not giving up at all. Not giving up one bit to try and do anything, of course, to try and beat Trentino in the game. And now, let's get straight into it now for the game before half-time. And any second now the whistle's going to blow. And it is going to be that. As Red Bull Trentino level here over Trentino FC as it ends 1-1. And we are back now for the second half, and here we go between Red Bull Trentino and Trentino FC in the matchup. And here we go as Classius Flores now to Longinus. Longinus now to Lorians. Now Lorians there to Regulus. Now Regulus there to Marcus Varian. Now to Marius Atticus now. Now to Germanus now for the Trentino FC. Header there now to Ericus. And then all the way there to Hakim Ziyech. Now to Prince Charette. And now Tarenti right here holds it. All the way there to Bart Patry. And Bart Patry there, cross it in now to Prince Charette, and the goal scored. And what a finish right there for the Red Bull Trentino to put themselves in front in this local derby game here for tonight. Because this game is very important for both sides, obviously, in this local derby matchup. Because Trentino were in front in the match, but Red Bull scored 2 goals to put themselves in the lead for the first time in this matchup here in the Trentino derby. And I think you expect a team like the regular league side to have the quality compared, obviously, to maybe a team a league below them, especially, obviously, Trentino FC. Now Germanus. And now here's Atticus. Now Hakim Ziyech. Now is Germanus. Now is a foul, and that's a free kick. Free kick's being given, by the way. And it was actually a challenge, obviously, for Trentino FC. As Hakim Ziyech got a foul from that. And now it will be a free kick, by the way, in the spot in the match. And obviously the free kick's taken And Julius Flarias now takes the free kick here. Crossing the box there. Header. Oh, gone wide. It really could have been a chance for a goal to happen, by the way. But the header right there has gone wide. And that will be a goal kick. And now Ospina will take the goal kick here for Red Bull Fiorentina. And now head up. Now is to Dravias. Now to Marius Atticus. Now to Flariaris. Now Atticus. Now to Germanus. And now is Lilius. Now Lilius the ball here. Now here's to Hakim Ziyech. Now Prince Charette. Now to Bart Petri. Now all the way to Prince Charette. And now pass there now to Flarius Gerardus. Now Classius Flores. And now here's to Longinus. Now here's again to Lawrence. Now to Regulus. Now to Longinus now for Fiorentina. Also he won it back now. Here's to Alex Fabri. Now Alex Xavier Turba. Now to Rio Vladiez. Now Vladius now the ball past to Baro Lydius. And now all the way to now Forsberg, and he couldn't get there now, so it'll be a throw-in, by the way, for Fiorentina FC in the game, by the way. Bit of a tight one, though, you've got to admit. It's a local derby matchup between Fiorentina FC and Red Bull Fiorentina. And they'll be very, very, let's say, happy, obviously, the Red Bull team to win the matchup over their rivals. Even though that Fiorentina might be a league below them, might be 1-0 up, they might have been over the Red Bull Fiorentina in the first half. But at the same time, they want to beat their rivals, despite what league you're in. And now here's to Cornelius now, the ball. Cornelius. Now to Longinus. Shot! Oh, could have been. And that is that for full time, as Red Bull Fiorentina have knocked out Fiorentina FC in this local derby game on the first round, as it ends 2-1 at the end of the match.
Welcome back to RBC Sports. It's full time here in the RFA Kings Cup, and it's RB Fiorentina who come out on top in this city derby. The final score here is RB Fiorentina 2, Fiorentina FC 1, in a hard-fought and dramatic cup tie. RB Fiorentina showed great composure and quality when it mattered most, and they've booked their place in the next round of the Kings Cup. There were plenty of other big moments across the RFA Kings Cup first round as well. Let's take a look at the rest of the action from around Regalens.
Great start to the matchup here for Ogre Wanderers, as a chance from Lucas Vigny with the ball here for Ogre Wanderers. Pass there to Pablo Sorrento, but however, Samasanya won the ball back for AFC Richmond as Danny Rojas holds it all the way to Day Blanius. Blanius there to Tartus, and then Gabriel lost it back, and then all the way there to Danny Rojas, and Rojas there now to Samasanya, cross into the box to Blanius, and he puts the ball into the back of the net. And now AFC Richmond lead the game by 1-0 in the matchup here for tonight. Very good start to the matchup as Richmond take the lead in the game here this evening. And then, however, AFC Richmond extend the lead now from 1-0 down to 2-0, as what a goal there from Danny Rojas to make sure that AFC Richmond extend the lead, as now Richmond make it 2, as Ogre Wanderers trying to clear the ball away from danger, but however Richmond got into the right place at the right time, and the score at full time, it ends AFC Richmond 2, Ogre Wanderers 0 at full time here for tonight. And a great start to the game here within half an hour of the matchup, as Roberto Firmino, great pace right there for him, all the way to Depay, but he couldn't get there, as Otero, nice hold up here for him as he throws the ball all the way to Rafael Real, and then Roberto Firmino won the ball back, and then Reni Alduin all the way there to Depay, and then Cruz lost it here to Depay, and he won it, and he put the ball into the bottom corner nice and comfortably, and now the Antlers lead the game by 1-0. as that was an unbelievable finish, by the way, for Alda's Antlers, and they put themselves in a very good position to put their noses in front in the game. As what a finish from the Antlers. Great pass all the way there, and unfortunately lost control of the ball there, Otis FC, and now the Antlers won the ball from Depay, tapped in nicely and complete, and it is 1-0. And now Noah Flores, pass there to Alex Telles, there to Rento Sanchez, as Rento Sanchez passed the ball there to Bruce Noah there to Roberto Firmino, and then all the way past there to Noah Flores, there to Memphis Depay to get there, and he did that nice in style, as Antlers now lead by 2-0 in the match. As a great pass, by the way, and great counter-attack from the Antlers, as finally they made themselves very nice and known. They obviously lead in by 2-0. Great perfect run, by the way, as a great switch into the feet of Depay, and now it is 2-0 in the matchup here for the Antlers. And then great header, and then lost it here now to Felipe Monteau into the box, and then here to Ricardo Molino, and then Noah Flores holds it there to Rene Alderley, and then Memphis Depay, great run right there for him. Great pass there, however, into Firmino's feet, and then Firmino put the ball into the back of the net, and now the Alders Antlers have now made it 3-0 in the game here in a rainy day here in Alders. The full-time score at the end of the matchup here for tonight, as Alders Antlers won the game by 3-0, as the team from the third Liga, FC Otis, could not stop the regular Liga side from getting the goals, as it ends 3-0 here this evening. A corner for Chess Motor Blue Warriors as Neymar crossed into the box to Nabai Koite, but he couldn't get there though, but Ivan Toney got the ball, as Toney right here find himself a very good chance to try and hit on the counter-attack, and then all the way there to Neymar, and then Neymar got there, passed there to Toney, and then Toney nicely puts it into the bottom corner as Chess Motor Blue Warriors lead by 1-0 in the matchup. Great switch of passing, by the way, for Chess Motor, as they put themselves in a nice position, as they obviously lead here by 1-0 in the game. And great movement right there from Neymar, as he put it in a nice comfortable position as Toney scores it, and that was wonderful. The full-time score ends as Chess Motor Blue Warriors 1 in Sadia FC 0 as a full-time score for tonight. The Terriers got themselves a chance to try and win the game here over the team for the third Liga Dragamoto Club, and then great run here from Edward Venetar in the game, as he nice perfectly run switch pass there to Brummer, as Brummer right there crosses into the box to Deli Ali, and then Deli Ali slots the ball home into the goal, into that position, in a nice comfortable position, and the Terriers obviously lead by 1-0 over Dragamoto Club in the match. A nice hold up play here to Deli Ali, pass all the way there to Vincent Ambrosius, as he was 1v1 to the goalkeeper, but save. But Adam Pontis, however, crossed it in, and then Ambrosius, nice header right there for him to put that ball home, as now it's 2-0 to Coopsula Terriers in the game. And I've got to say that brilliant display of a cross into the box there, put it nice and comfortably right there past the goalie, as now the score is 2-0 in the matchup here for the Terriers in the game here for tonight. Great hold up here for the Terriers, pass there to Brummer right there to Edward Vendatar there for the Terriers, all the way there to Vincent Ambrosius, and he puts it nice and comfortable into the bottom corner, as now it's 3-0 to the Terriers in the game. Great ultra attacking football for the Terriers, as that ball was nice and done, and he placed it nice and comfortable in the bottom corner, and now the score in the matchup here is 3-0 to the Terriers in the game. And then the Terriers again got themselves another goal in the matchup as Dele Alli trying to get a run out of it as he had a pass there, switched there to Edward Ventitar, and then Ventitar puts it in the bottom corner, and now it's 4-0 to the Terriers in the matchup. Great run, by the way, and a great display right there for the Terriers, as now it's 4-0. And the full-time score between the Terriers and the club, it ends 4-0 to Coop Sota in the matchup here this evening. Great start to the game for Gotham City as Kevin Blanius passed there to Alex Logos, as Logos unfortunately tried to get the ball, and he did nicely there to tap it into Kevin Blanius' feet, cross into the box to Variez, and Variez hits it into the bottom corner as Gotham City lead by 1-0. And a hold up here for Miguel Ferreira as Juan Delgado passed there to Ferreira. Ferreira now to Juan Delgado, and then lost it there to Kevin Blanius there for Gotham City, as Alex Logos was 1v1 to the goalkeeper, and he hit the ball into the goal to make sure that Gotham City make it 2-0 over Johto Tigers in the game. The full-time score of the matchup here between Gotham City and Johto Tigers, it ends 2-0 to Gotham in the matchup here tonight. Great hold up here from Victor Osimhen there. Pass there to Vincent Gunnius. Then Thomas Müller got there for Greenfield. And a goal was into the back of the net by a goal from that man, Victor Osimhen, on the score sheet to put Greenfield Boys United in front in the King's Cup trophy here for this afternoon. And then Greenfield obviously got themselves another goal in the matchup as Scott Ferries hold up here to Thomas Müller. As Müller right here, nice display for him, cross it in there to Victor Osimhen, and he placed that ball in the bottom corner as now it's 2-0 to Greenfield in the game. And the full-time score between Greenfield and St Lacrus Wolves, it ends Greenfield Boys United 2, St Lacrus Wolves 0. A nice perfect run in the matchup here for East Rego, but however Ricardo Sanchez got himself a lost control ball there to Samuel Trevelyan, and then obviously Barrios holds it there to Abubakar for Insadia FC, and then Dorian had the ball and then crossed it in here to Abubakar to put the ball into the goal to score the only goal in the matchup to win them the match here over against East Rego, as the full-time score between East Rego and also St Lacrus Wolves, it ends only a 1-0 win for Insadia FC in the match. Inter Taloga got themselves a chance to try and win the game here against a team who are currently in the third tier of Rega Liga football, and that is the Jaguars in the matchup, as Sierraratius Jaguars obviously play against the Rega Liga son of Inter Taloga, and then Felipe obviously Coutinho trying to score against the goalkeeper, and then Christius right there trying to get a finish, but however that ball's gone wide for a goal kick from the Sierraratius Jaguars for a goal kick in the game, as unfortunately Christius' shot has gone wide for a goal kick. And then however we know that the game ended goalless, by the way, no goals scored at full time, as now the game is definitely going to penalties, and could the Jaguars make a massive upset against Taloga as the Giant Killers. And then Taloga took the first penalty in the matchup, and a goal happened for Taloga as Christius scores the first opener to make sure Taloga are leading the game here by 1-0. And then a penalty here for the Jaguars as Sierraratius Jaguars got themselves a chance, and it was a save right into the keeper's hands, and it is denied. And then Wilfred Zaha took the penalty here for the Jaguars, and what a hit, but it hit the post though. as it was a great hit from Wilfred Zaha, but unfortunately couldn't finish it. Then the Jaguars got themselves that chance to score against the goalkeeper, and he did. And maybe lifeline for CRRTS Jaguars to try and make a giant clean upset over Taloga. And then a save right there for the goalkeeper gives the Jaguars a massive hope for them to make an upset in this competition. And then the Jaguars had a chance from the captain, and that has gone absolutely wide away from the goal. Probably the adrenaline really got to them there, and it could have been a chance to make it 2-1 for CR Rarities Jaguars in the matchup, as CR Rarities Jaguars gave away a miss. Coutinho takes it for Taloga, and he puts it into the back of the net to make it 2-1 for International D Taloga in the game. And then a penalty here for the Jaguars in the matchup to make it 2-2, but however saved easily by the goalkeeper of Inter D Taloga. And then Alexander Mitrovic got himself a penalty here over the goalkeeper of the Jaguars, as Mitrovic, the Serbian, takes the penalty here in the matchup, and he puts it right in the middle of the goal, and Taloga do go through into the next round of the King's Cup here for tonight, as the Jaguars trying to make an upset, but unfortunately it wasn't a free kick here for Montantis Wanderers. Almost tried to score there, but great block there from the defenders of Parentos. But then Corvinus there holds it, pass there to Yoshi Waka, and then Pedro Alviero there go on the attack, but unfortunately was denied, as Jeffrey Wijnaldum passed there to David Wilhelmus, 1v1 to the goalkeeper, and what a finish right there for him, as now Parentos lead the game within the first 17 minutes in the match. A nice hold-up play here for Montantis Wanderers to try and get something in the game, because they are behind by 1-0, but Parentos did make it easy for themselves in the matchup to try and score another, as Thomas Muller all the way there to again from Muller here for Parentos, as Muller there passes it there to Greg Gallus. Gallus crosses it in, Williams got there, and that's the second goal right there for Devan Wilhelmus to put Parentos 2 goals in front over Montantis in the game. A nice hold-up play here from Montantis in the matchup to try and get the goal, and however won it back here for Parentos, as a chance for Corvinus to try and score, but then Thomas Meyer hold up here nicely there to Ray Gallus, and Ray Gallus, nice run all the way there to David Wilhelmus to score a hat-trick in the game before half-time, as nice finish for him, as Parentos obviously leading the game, and definitely be happy about the first half, as that goal was confirmed as a hat-trick in the match, as it is 3-0 to Parentos. And a nice goal from Jeffrey Wijnaldum to score the 4th goal for Parentos. Great teamwork here between Parentos and also Montantis Wanderers, as Jeffrey Wijnaldum placed the ball into the bottom corner, as now the Montantis here Wanderers are behind by 4-0 in the matchup here for tonight's game. The 5th goal was scored for Parentos in the match, as Devan Wilhelmus passed there to Alan Maximan for Parentos, as Devan Wilhelmus passed there to Roman Varenti, and then Junior Firpo passed there to St Maximan, and then St Maximan got himself that finish in the game to score the 5th goal in the matchup for tonight. The full-time score between Parentos and Montantis Wanderers, it ends here as a 5-goal victory over the Wanderers here, and a hat-trick from Devan Wilhelmus to be the one to score all 3 in the game. A corner kick for Ivigo Impact. Pepe crossed into the box. No header there from any of the Ivigo players, but then however Luis Alberto won the ball back, passed there to Nicola Pepe, and then Pepe switched the pass there to Peter Farnes, and then Farnes right there to Luis Alberto, and Luis Alberto passed back there to Peter Farnes. Farnes right here to Pepe. Pepe cross sort of pass there to Peter Fonnes again, then to Luis Alberto, and Alberto there, nice pass there all the way again to Nicola Pepe, on his left foot cross into Aubameyang, then Aubameyang to Lacazette, and then Aubameyang to Lacazette, and Lacazette gets the finish as Ivergo Impact have put their noses in front over Southam United in the matchup just before half-time here for tonight. As a finish from Anthony to score here for Ivergo Impact, as 2-0 for him to score the second in the game. Lacazette, nice pass switch there to the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Aubameyang to Lacazette, and then Anthony hits it on his left foot into the top corner above the shoulders of the goalkeeper as it's 1-0. And Ivergo Impact did win the matchup to send themselves through into the second round of the King's Cup. A goal from Anthony and for Lacazette as they defeated the team who are currently top of the third league at Southam United, as Southam United lost 2-1 over Ivergo here for this evening. As Laurentis Grasshoppers put themselves in front as Martin Agonis puts it into the bottom corner as Grasshoppers Laurentis lead to make it 1-0 in the game. The full-time score between Laurentis Grasshoppers and also Alders Rovers, it ends only a 1-goal victory for the Grasshoppers in the game. And Los Andreas Pompey put themselves in front within 3 minutes in the game as what a header right there in the matchup for Los Andreas Pompey within the first 3 minutes in the game as Gerardus Chevalier got himself a very good header right there from Chevalier to score the first opener for Los Andreas Pompey as Social Skies are behind by 1 in the game. And Los Andreas Pompey, a goal here in the matchup for them as a pass there to Occupus, then to Various Rex, then to Occupus. Nice little hold up here for him as he hits it in the bottom corner, nice and tidily in the bottom corner, as now Los Andreas Pompey lead by 2-0 over the Social Skies in the game. And then, however, great header there from Benjamin Eduardus as Chevalier. Great pass all the way to Various Rex, and then Rex hits it in the bottom corner, and within the first 16 minutes Los Andreas Pompey have scored all 3 in the game. And then Benjamin Eduardus, nice pass there to Eriksson. Eriksson pass switch to Various Rex. Rex there now to Lucas Occupaius, and Occupaius scores and he puts the ball into the goal with the full-back in the net as a finish there from Occupaius to make sure Los Andreas Pompey win the game as the full-time score 4-0 to Pompey and they're through. And New Forest Vikings have now made it 1-0 in the game as a pass there to Albert Hayes in the game as he switched the ball all the way into a cross to Mason Greenwood, and what a header right there from Greenwood in the game as he was in a very nice comfortable position to put the ball into the back of the net, as now it's 1-0 to the Vikings in the game. Hold up here from Chess Motor FC as Papalus trying to win the ball, but however the Vikings won the ball back, and then obviously Mason Greenwood, nice attack there past to Harriet, and Harriet hits it in the bottom corner, and Forest Vikings extend the lead to make it 2-0 over Chess Motor FC. New Forest Vikings have now made it 2-0 in the matchup as Henry Farkius, nice little hold here for him to pass it there to Albert Hayes. The Hayes now to Mason Greenwood, and then Mason Greenwood puts it nice and comfortable into the bottom corner as New Forest Vikings have now made it 3-0 over Chess Motor FC. The full-time score is New Forest Vikings 3, Chess Motor FC 0, and New Forest Vikings also head through into the next round of the King's Cup. And Sport Laurentis got themselves a goal to put themselves in the lead as Dakari won the ball there to Aaron Moy and all the way to Joel Nontus. And Nontus, great ball there to Danielis Burntos to cross it in there to Aaron Moy to got a header on that, the Australian, as Sport Laurentis lead the game by 1-0 over Oga United in the match. And that's a brilliant header from the Australian in the matchup. And a nice header there, composed there from Sporting Laurentis as Tilius lost control of it to Joel Nontis. And Joel Nontis hits it in, and now Sporting Laurentis lead the game by 2-0 in the match. And the full-time score between Sporting Laurentis and Oga United, as it ends here as 2-0 to score, as the team who are currently bottom of the Regular Liga heads through into the next round of the King's Cup. And Southend United have got themselves a goal in the matchup over West Rego as Luka Jovovic puts the ball into the bottom corner as Southend United lead within 13 minutes in the game. And what a goal from the Serbian. And Southend Coast got themselves another goal to extend the lead as Michael Alunga, nice little hold up pass there to Luka Jovovic. And Jovovic is 1v1 to the keeper, and he placed that ball nice and comfortable into the goal as now Southend Coast makes it 2 in the matchup over West Wego in the matchup here in the game within the first half. And now Michael Alunga got himself a goal for the Southend Coast to make it 3-0 as Johan passed it there to Michael Alunga to put it nicely in the back of the net. And the Kenyan striker did very, very well to be in the right position at the right time as Southend Coast definitely take that win, and they also go through into the next round of the King's Cup as a full-time score here at the matchup. It ends as Southend Coast 3 and also West Rego 0 at full-time. Tayo FC put themselves in a nice comfortable position as Nakajima for Tayo FC passes it right there to Jerome Levi, hits a poster, rebounded back into the feet of Ricardo Lopez, and Tayo FC lead by 1-0. A free kick from Farnius Simeonis got himself a free kick for Tayo FC in the 89th minute of the game. Pass there to Gallus Pontis, all the way right there to Adam Bellius. And Nakajima got there, switched to the Jerome Levi, and now it is 2-0 to Tayo FC to place it nice and comfortable into the goal as Tayo FC. What a finish though from obviously the striker of Jerome Levi as Nakajima, great switch pass all the way into the feet of Pontis. Blocked from obviously # United defender, went to the feet of Jerome Levi and he hits in the bottom corner. But the full-time score ends here as it ends 2-0 to Tayo in the game. Tayo Red Devils have put themselves in a very good position in the game as David Julius passed there to Nathan Otimus. And then David Otimus got himself that finish to put the ball into the goal as the Red Devils lead just before half time. As I've got to say, Julius there assisted nicely right there to Otimus as what a pass. Switch right there, 1v1 to the goalie as now it's 1-0 to Tayo Red Devils. The team will definitely be favourites of course to win this game over the team from the second Liga of Los Andreas Suns. And great pass there from Diaby, back heel there to Nathan Otimus, then Savic right here, knocked it there to David Julius, and then Julius hits it nice and comfortable in the bottom corner as now it's 2-0. And Tayo Red Devils got themselves a finish in the matchup as David Julius, nice hit into the bottom corner, controlled and nice and firmly in the bottom corner as a great header from Otimus and Julius as a header right there, plunged all the way into Julius's feet As, yeah, great teamwork right there from Optimus and David Julius. The two Regulans strikers work together as they are 3-0 up. And then Los Andreas Suns trying to get themselves a goal in the matchup. But however, great cover defending right there from the Thai Red Devils team. As Nathan Optimus, nice switch pass there to David Julius. 1v1 to the goalkeeper. And he hit it nice and comfortable in the bottom corner to put Thai Red Devils 4-0 up in the game. And now, just before injury time, 6 minutes left of the game to go, and Julius makes it all 5 in the matchup as Thai Red Devils lead by 5, and 4 goals scored by the captain of David Julius. As the full-time score at the game, it ends as Thai Red Devils 5, Los Andreas Suns 0 at the end of the match. Wilhoven Knights put themselves in the lead within 3 minutes of the game as Malcolm, great run for him, cross into Barbosa to score the first goal within 3 minutes in the game as the captain was in a very strong position at the right time as it is 1-0 to Wilhoven Knights. And Wilhoven Knights got themselves the second goal of the matchup as Gabriel Barbosa pass there to Ruben Neves, then to Gabriel Barbosa, then Crispius Julius cross in there to Barbosa, and the goal to make it 2 goals for him on the score sheet as Knights lead by 2-0 in the match. A nice little control here from Gabriel Barbosa as again from Marino Felix, and then Oskarish Andreas pass there to Gabriel Barbosa, and then Ruben Neves pass back to Barbosa, and a hat-trick was all being scored as a nice comfortable finish into the top corner was brilliant for Wilhoven Knights, and now it's 3-0 here at home in the game. A nice hold up here from Wilhoven Knights as Malcolm, nice slot pass there to Gabriel Barbosa, but then lost it there to Galius Crispian. And then Ruben Neves, nice pass there to Jonathan David, and a 4th goal scored, and it was all nice and done from Jonathan David for Wilhoven Knights. The full-time score between Otis Diamonds, who travel away to Wilhoven Knights, it ends as Wilhoven Knights 4, Otis Diamonds 0, and a hat-trick right there for Gabriel Barbosa to head them through into the second round. And Villager FC got themselves that chance to score in the matchup as great defending right there from the Villager FC team. But then, however, Catio and Regulars trying to score for the Vidran Spartans in the game. And then, obviously, a great pass there to Jamie Vardy for Villager FC. Great opportunity there for Steve Processor. 1v1, hits it, bottom corner, nice and comfortable. As now Villager FC lead the game nicely in the matchup. And that was a brilliant pass all the way to Steve Processor as Villager lead by 1-0. And then a nice hold up here from Vidurus Sprats as Vardy there run with the ball nice and comfortable as he took it really past a few defenders. And then Steve Processor, nice pass there to Andreas Cosesio, and Spirat hits it in the goal as Villager FC have now made it in the matchup 2-0 as Spurprat scores nicely in the game as Vitruvius Spurprat was brilliant. Very good position, he was the captain as he was in a very nice comfortable goal position to make sure Villager FC extend the lead and definitely head through into the next round of the King's Cup Trophy. But however, the full-time score officially blown and they will be heading themselves into the second round of the competition as it ends Villager FC 2, Vidran Spartans 0 as a full-time score at the end of this game here for tonight. A nice perfect run obviously for Bremerhaven as again Marcelius. Nice all the way to, again, from Tanio Santi. And then Pedro Valdez there to Wayne Serierio. And then Diego Cortes. Pass there to Rafael Montani. And then right there to Scenario. And then Marco Penido scores a late goal for Richmond City to put themselves in a very, very big situation to win themselves that game. A team from the third Liga of the division of the Regaland's football. A big giant killing upset for them to knock out the team in the league above them, Bremerhaven, out of the King's Cup. As the full-time score ends in the matchup as Bremerhaven 0, Richmond City 1, and Richmond City are bottom of the third Liga, but they are through into the second round. And the Riders got themselves that chance to score in the matchup over the Dragamoto Wild as Pablos Mario passed there to Lawrence, and then Lawrence hits it nicely in the bottom corner, and what a finish right there for the Riders as it is 1-0 in the game here for tonight. Great passing and great finishing as it is beautifully done, and it is 1-0 to them in the game. Nice switch of play, by the way, as obviously Dragamoto Wild obviously allowed the Riders to score, and now they lead the game 1-0. And then obviously there that Hadaranius holds it again all the way as Lucius Atanius passed it in the box, and then Morrow got there, and now the Riders extend the lead to make it 2-0 over the Wild. And then nice hold up here, play for Dragamoto Wild as Leonardo Regiel passed there to Demisio Lorian, and then Regiel holds it and then away for an attack, hits it in the back of the net, and that's a consolation goal for the Dragamoto Wild. They could get back in the game and make a comeback, but could happen within 15 minutes of the game. But at the moment they're behind by 2-1. And the full-time score between the Raiders and the Wild, as the Raiders did actually win the matchup nice and comfortably over the Dragamoto Wild as it ends 2-1 in the game. Nice hold up here from Flarius here from the Guardians as Vario crossed into the box. And then Martinez got into the goal and he hits it nicely into the finish for Martinez to make it 1-0 to Johto Guardians in the game. And what a header right there for him as the Guardians are now leading by 1-0 over the Montantis Saturday in the game. And see that replay one more time. Unbelievable cross in and then a header right there on that, and it is 1-0. And then obviously their pass there to Chavivilis and all the way to Marcus Varo, all the way to Lorenias, back to Varo, and then Dravius puts it in, and that's a finish right there for the Montantis Saturday. And now it's 1-1 in the game between the two sides, as Montantis Saturday are hoping maybe a good cup run maybe in this competition, as they are still alive in the match. And that means that the full-time whistle did actually blow between Montantis Saturday and also the team of the Guardians, as a penalty shootout was taken by the end of the matchup, as stepping things first will be the Guardians to take the first penalty over against the goalkeeper of Montantis Saturday here for tonight. And then a penalty was taken right there for the Guardians in the matchup, as he took it nice and comfortable and he hit it right into the goal as the Guardians lead by 1-0 in the match. And then a goal from Montantis Saturday to make it here, a finish to make it 1-1, as now game on here between the two sides. And then the Guardians got a penalty to try and make it 2-1, but however a great miss from the Guardians player to unfortunately make the goal go wide, or the shot to go wide. And then the Montantis Saturday put themselves in the lead on penalties here, and that's a finish right there for Vario for the Saturday. And then the Guardians took the penalty here over the Montantis Saturday, and he hit it, and he did in the bottom corner, as now it's 2-2 in the game. And then Montantis Saturday got themselves a penalty against the Guardians, and it was a save right down the middle in the match. And then the Johto Guardians got a penalty here over the Montantis Saturday, And then it was a nice one into the middle of the goal, as now it's 3-2. And then the Montantis Saturday got themselves a penalty to make it 3-3, and it was a nice one from the captain, and that's really tied up now, this penalty shootout, so anyone could beat anybody. And then the Guardians took the penalty here against the goalkeeper, but saved and denied by the Montantis Saturday's keeper to stop that from going to the back of the net. And then obviously a penalty, the last penalty that Montantis Saturday have to score this, and it was a brilliant goal as it was a finish for the Saturday to put themselves through into the next round of the RFA Kings Cup, as Corvinus was the man who won them the game, to win them the game on pens in this match. And the two sides, obviously from the third league, play each other here in this Kings Cup game. But what an unbelievable free kick to put Lakabus Hatters in front, as Orano scores a brilliant free kick for the Lakabus Hatters, as Christian Loraro makes it 1-0 in the matchup so far. What a brilliant free kick. And unfortunately, obviously there, the goalkeeper could not stop that shot from going into the back of the net, as that free kick was a rocket. And then Christian Bozzi puts it 1-1 in the matchup, as what a finish there from Christian Bozzi, as now the score is 1-1 for the Creatures. And Lakabus Hatters got themselves their noses in front, as Rafael Monterius, then to Mario Quinian, and then great defending there, as all the way there to Andres Polotto, and then Bruno Farias, pass there to Ricardo Domies, and Domies there to Polotto, and Polotto hits it and he scores it, as the Lakabus Hatters are now back in front in the matchup. And that is unbelievable finish right there for the Polotto Hatters, as they are leading here by 2-1, and that is a brilliant finish, and the keeper could not stop that one from going into the back of the net, as they are definitely now heading themselves through into the second round of the Kings Cup. And that'll mean the full-time score ends officially, as Lakabus Hatters definitely will win the matchup to go through, as the full-time score is 2-1 at the matchup here for tonight.
Let's turn our attention now to the RFA Kings Cup and a huge night of football in the first round. There were big wins across the board. AFC Richmond, Aldous Antlers, Sesmoda Blue Warriors, and Greenfield Boys United all booked their places with convincing victories. We also saw Intertolga edge through on penalties, while Porantos FC delivered one of the performances of the night with a 5-0 win. And the action continued across the rest of the ties. New Forest Vikings, Los Andreas Pompey, RB Torrentina, and Tayo Red Devils all progressed in style. The Kings Cup never fails to deliver drama, goals, and surprise results, and this first round was no exception. And now, here are the fixtures for the next round of the RFA Kings Cup. Some huge ties stand out. AFC Richmond against Aldous Antlers, Gotham City versus Greenfield Boys United, and Tayo FC against Tayo Red Devils. Every club left in this competition will be dreaming of lifting the Kings Cup at the end of the season. And next week on RBC Sports, it's back to league action as Insula FC take on Villager FC in the Konami Rego Liga. Both sides desperately need points, and that promises to be a massive match at both ends of the table. That's all from us here on RBC Sports. Thank you for joining us for a thrilling night of RFA Kings Cup action. We'll see you next time for more football from across Regolands. Good night.